So I would say 2020 was challenging.
I mean, it was always kind of in the back of my mind, like, well, how are they going to handle it? I know, like, is my schedule going to be changed, or, will it be a short time off?
I was kind of concerned, are we going to have to go home without work, without computers and all that kind of stuff?
There were a lot of little mountains to overcome and things to figure out along the way.
We started out in March trying to work split shifts, and we gradually progressed from doing that to working full-time at home. A lot of folks knew how to set things up on their home network, but a lot of folks didn't, so we had to teach in those situations, and a few situations had to make trips out to people's homes and help them get their network set up.
All of a sudden everything's at home and nothing's where it's supposed to be, and it's like learning the whole job all over again because all of your notes and stuff aren't there, and it's different hearing the background noises you hear being other coworkers talking to customers compared to your kid running around the house and screaming.
It's definitely an adjustment there, but it was a good time to be able to be with my family and work at the same time.
Being at home, having the convenience to work more if needed, it's actually increased our production quite a bit.
We still had access to our phones and to work, so customers would never know we weren't here, so we were still accessible and still got it done. So
now everybody has a computer they can take home. So if we know we've got bad weather coming, everybody take your computer home, and we're still able to do business and ultimately take care of that customer. So I think that was a win for the claims people, win for the company, and win for our insureds.
I mean, it was just an ever-moving kind of target that you were trying to hit.
With insurance, the crazier things is the more insurance is needed, it seems.
It was kind of a week-to-week thing. We didn't know what was going to happen next, so kind of had to roll with the punches.
So I had more than a couple times that I would meet people and we would be outside in their yard, and I might go up to either their vehicle or mine, and I would just lay out the different requirements and things that they needed to do, and then take about 10 steps back, and then they would step up to the vehicle, and then I would just walk them through the process. We will interact with you based on your comfort level. So if you want to come into the office, the doors are going to be open, that's fine. We'll stay at a safe distance. Anything to bring their comfort level as high as it could and their anxiety as low as we could just became every day.
We pay it forward with our service. We strive to give the best service we can to our customers, and we've made some changes as far as that goes to make things easier.
We help people. They may not see it on their end, the clients or anything like that, but we're here for them to give them something that they need in the long run.
The company was so quick to react, that they made solutions. They found answers for us that would help us be able to do our job.
I don't know what I would have done, if they didn't let us work from home during that time.
Even though last year was a struggle, it really opened my eyes, because being able to rely on a place to keep me going, I know that's crazy. People think I'm crazy, I know. I love my job, I know. But it was nice to know that security was there. That even though it was a hard year, I worked for a company that actually
get there.
I'll never forget, we had dodged the tornado, we thought. It had hit Davidson County and then lifted up, and we thought we were okay. Everyone kind of went to bed, and then all of a sudden we got woke up and found out that we had been hit. I've been in emergency services for about 40 years total. Never seen anything like it in my lifetime.
And the day started with me by hearing the tornado sirens at about 2:05 that morning. And then about 15 minutes later, I received a phone call from one of our clients who lived really in what we consider to be ground zero on Hensley Drive.
First neighborhood I went to had some pretty bad houses, but then I got closer and closer to the Hensley Drive, which was where the major claims were. And as I got closer to there is when you saw the houses that were completely gone, and families just standing around not really knowing exactly what to do.
Probably the most vivid memory of that day was on that street. There were 19 homes on that street. 17 of them were destroyed. And not just damaged, but were gone completely.
The area it hit in our county was highly populated, mostly residential home subdivisions. To see a whole subdivision, all the houses in that subdivision totally gone, and nothing left except the debris that was there. We had to get road graders and bulldozers and those kind of things in to start pushing to be able to get into the scene. And the more we worked, the worse it got. As the daylight came that morning, like a war zone.
So we met at about 6 a.m. at one of our offices. All of our agents were there, and we put together a plan of action, which involved setting up a mobile command station, you might say, in the area, and by 7 o'clock we were there on site.
They were really amazed that day that we were out there, we were writing checks for their dwelling, and that was something that they were not going to have to worry about, going forward from there. Was that, we got out there, we got our pictures, and hey, there's no doubt about it, we'll go ahead and take that off of them to not have to worry about that.
For our claims reps to be able to show up and write someone a $200,000 check on the hood of their truck, the people were just amazed that that could happen.
For weeks, we worked this. I never had the first complaint on Farm Bureau. To me, that says it all. When you think as many homes, we had almost 700 properties that were damaged. Over 150 were totally destroyed. I never had the first complaint. I heard a lot of compliments. And hearing people say that the agents were there on the scene that day writing checks, I think that speaks so highly of Farm Bureau.
They knew if they had Farm Bureau insurance, they weren't going to get the runaround. They knew that they were going to have somebody come out there in person. We had other companies that we heard of that 2 weeks later still hadn't had anybody out there to look at houses, that had major damage to them.
So we as a company, we have a history in Tennessee, we have the resources to make an impact, and we have the heart for people to meet people at their time of need. And so I think as a company, we're well positioned to be there for families when they need us to be. When we think about at Farm Bureau paying it forward, we think about those families who have entrusted us with those things which are most important to them. That's our obligation as a company. Beyond that, however, paying it forward means that we're going to do the extra. And it's more than a transaction, it's a relationship.
And so paying it forward is being there for them. Because at the times when people have lost their houses, giving them one less thing to worry about, is just more than giving them a check. That peace of mind knowing that is something that they don't have to worry about from there on is just something that was good, being able to do that.
In my mind, paying it forward is doing something good for someone that you do not expect anything in return. I've always said if you really want to receive God's rewards, the Bible talks about do your giving silently and so that people don't know that you're the one giving. I think Farm Bureau, with all the great things that they did for our community that day, not just the insurance, not taking care of the people and their claims, the way that they treat our citizens, the kindness that they show. And those guys went beyond the call of duty, and I know that's part of their job, but they went beyond that. That's paying it forward because they did it, not expecting anything in return. And I think in my mind, that's what this life is all about, is helping people and doing things for others that you don't expect anything in return. You're just happy to be doing it.
Keep going.
Yeah, it takes about 15 seconds for it to even hit the web, so.
Gotcha.
Great, man, thanks. Hey, talk a little bit on that mic. What was that you did before? Talk on it a little bit.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2.